inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. Once you get into it, you'll never be the same. Hero Quest. Now with 2 new adventure packs, the legend grows.
Hi, welcome back to Not Your Mother's Hobbies. Today, we got 2 videos this week, baby. We double dipping, this ain't chips. We're doing the gargoyle. And not just this one little gargoyle boy. We're gonna do both gargoyles. I'm gonna show you how to do stone 2 ways. One is familiar, one is kind of different, but both will give you a cool look. This is super easy. Stone. This video's just gonna be real chill. You know, I'm not gonna do a lot of talking, or I'm gonna try not to, and just let you enjoy and relax and paint. So we're using basilicanum gray. You could use a Nuln oil. You could use any sort of dark black wash, thinned down to be gray, whatever you want. We're darkening this guy down. We're using basilicanum this time because I like it. It's got good coverage, a neutral tint, and you can still see through it. So I like it. We're using that. Cover the whole thing. Everything that's going to be stone. So that's the whole body and the wings. We're leaving the weapons. And there you go. You should have something that looks like that. Cygor brown for the weapons. And that's because I'm going to do a kind of patina, brass, bronze, I guess bronze? Bronze without the patina, yeah. So we're doing like a patina bronze kind of thing. I got inspired by the Dark Souls gargoyle, the Belfry gargoyles. And so we're gonna add a little bit of that to this guy. So just put that Cygor brown as a base on all the weapons. Now that all that work is done, we're coming in with a Longbeard gray. This is our kind of cool gray, and we're just going to do dry brush. Dry brush the whole thing. We want to focus mostly on the tops and getting a lot of detail brought into the face and the chest. So by the tops, I mean like you can do 2 coats, or you could do more brushing, more focusing on the topmost edges. So like his pecs and the top of his arms outstretched, the top of his thighs and knees, and then the front of his face. Stuff like that would be what I mean by the tops. And then that way you'll get a nice cool gradient, and you'll keep a lot of the shadow going in. You can avoid places like the abs, and it'll get nice dark crunchy contrasted shadows down there, and it'll look like really cool blends. The wings here, I do a lot of focusing on the upper, I guess, 3/4 or 2/3. I leave the bottom a lot darker, and I do more passes on the I guess, the top half, the top quarter. So we get a nice fall off from the brightest spot, which would be the top of the wings. And then we get these cool natural shadows in the bottom of it. When you're done, you get something like this. Okay, Balthazar gold here is to bring just some extra, I guess, interest into the weapons. It's not entirely needed, but wherever our patina is not seen, it might give us some extra interest. Those little metal flakes in the metallic paint might pick up, and we'll get a different color or look to those spots, a different reaction. So here we have Nihilak Oxide. You could make your own patina by just watering down a pale green, pale blue, and just applying that. But I have this technical paint, so I'm using that. And we're just going to cover the whole thing and dab and dot and splotch, and you can see I put my thumb on there. I do that a lot with this because I want a textured look. And I come back in with some more, and I apply it liberally to these little cracks and stuff. I'm using a dry brush here to even soak up some and splotch some little spots off to give texture. Then I'm coming in with some more, and I'm applying it again liberally to anywhere that would be like an undersurface where the water might collect and more oxidation could happen. I even draw in some trails, some like drippy trails, because again, it's where the moisture would collect and cause extra oxidation. Just play around and experiment and see what works for you. And if you don't like it, take your thumb, wipe it off. It's okay, it's going to add texture. So for the second one, I do the exact same thing, but there's a lot more crevices in here. So I'm just filling it in almost entirely. Crazy coverage. And then I come in with my thumb and just wipe it off where I want it to. You'll see. There we go. Just wiping it off. Gives it some texture, right? And it's going to stay in those crevices where the water would collect. And then back to what we did before. We just add some extra and drip it down. That's where all the water would go. More oxidation. And just wipe it with your thumb. Back and forth. Get something that looks cool and textured. When that's all done, we just finish up with our usual basing technique. So gray, I've already got the texture paint on, but then texture paint, dry brush, shade, dry brush. If you want to see that in more detail, check out the other videos. Second gargoyle, here we go. This is more of an ancient stone look that I was trying to give, and you might have seen it before or something similar on the sarcophagus, or I guess the tomb from our furniture guides. We're going to do something similar, very similar. So you're just going to apply that like you did to the other gargoyle, just everywhere that's going to be stone. And guess what? This guy doesn't have a weapon, so that's just everything. Can't get any easier. Put this on everything. It's Frank's Red Hot. Go, go, go. There you have it, all covered. We're going to do a double dry brush. Starting off with Tyrant Skull, this is a yellow, a warm gray, I guess, or a warm white, very yellow. And that's just to bring back a little bit of those midtones. It's not as strong as going for like a white, but it will bring back a kind of mid-tone and help with a more subtle mixing, fading, blending. So that's why we're using that one. And just do the exact same thing you did on the other gargoyle. Then we come back in with our Longbeard Gray and we focus this on the tippy tops. Because we did the Tyrant Skull below, the blending is going to be very subtle and it won't be a big jump unless you want that, because that's going to be real poppy, going to be crazy. I didn't want it to be poppy and crazy on this, I wanted more subtle. But you definitely could go that direction and I'm sure that would look awesome. There's tons of crunchy, crusty detail on this guy that would look crazy. So we just go over with our Longbeard Gray and we just softly, subtly blend it on the topmost parts. So this would be on the wings, 50% to 25% of the wings focused on the top. Militarum Green. We're gonna do something fun, something cool. We did the patina stuff on the weapons for the other gargoyle. This one, we're doing aged moss, algae, kind of grody stuff. You're going to focus it on the bottoms, the underneath, the shadow, because that's where moisture would collect. Oh, lots of moisture. He's using that word a lot. Well, that's because there's more things than light that we can think about how stuff interacts with objects, right? We can think about nature. And so this is one of those. So moisture, our algae, our moss. We're just going to apply this in all these cracks and crevices and stuff and add texture and interest into all these locations. You don't have to do every single spot the exact same all across, because that's not how algae and gross moss grows. It doesn't grow the same way all over. It grows actually the direction of sunlight on trees and on other stuff. It kind of just grows where it's moist and in crooky cracks and stuff. I don't know the science behind it. I just know that it grows where water is. So yeah, just poke around, make some interest. You can see one side of the face I did more than the other. If I didn't like it, I wipe it off. I put it in some of the horns, but not both of the horns. See, right there, 2 horns, but not in the center. Just going all around and just have fun, layer it up. If you do more than one layer, it builds up to a thicker consistency, but you can still see the detail below. If you put it over something you don't want, you can wipe it off and it's going to tint it a little bit. Just go ham. And after that, after having fun and playing, you just do the base like normal. And we're done. That's it. And here you go. Here's our work. We got this cool little gargoyle man. He's looking pretty rad. I really like how he pops. There's lots of brightness, but also darkness. It's good contrast without being overbearing. The weapons add something different and interesting. Really cool. And here's the other guy. Look at that. Like he was found underwater or something, or he's in like a really dingy cave somewhere, right? Where there's maybe stalactites dripping, dropping water all over the place, and you can hear it in the background. Bloop, bloop, bloop. With an old altar in front of him or something. Pretty crazy. Yeah, I like it. I hope you like it. But there you go. 2 different gargoyle looks. I hope you guys liked the double video. It's something that I would like to do more of in the future. Maybe make it standard. Unfortunately, that depends on how well the channel does. So just keep giving me your feedback. Keep liking, subscribing, all that jazz. Maybe we'll get there. Until then, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.